with G. Keeping up with G.
So how you guys doing? How is your day going? What's happening? Hope you're fine. I miss being in front of the camera for some reasons. I don't know why. Okay, so today I'm really happy and excited. I hope you're good. How is your 2021 going? This 2021 will start with goals and everything. Hope you are smashing your goals. Hope you are making progress. Hope your goals are not in 0%. Hope at least you're in like 10% or 2%. At least you are trying, even if you're not fully there yet, but at least you're trying something, revisit your goals and everything. This is not a goals video, so sorry I'm talking about goals and everything. Well, this video is actually because I've been getting a lot of comments about gee, how many kg of fondant do we need for this quantity of cake, how many kg of buttercream do we need for this quantity of cake and everything. So I've been answering and I'm tired of answering, so I just decided to let me just make a full video explaining quantity of fondant you need for this particular quantity of cake. I'll just combine the two together, fondant and buttercream. Yeah, so this is the video for it. When I started baking, that was one challenge I was having then as a baker, as a new baker, because I will do a lot of fondant. I can do like 2 kg fondant for 6 inches cake I'm doing. 2 kg fondant for 6 inches cake, and the 6 inches cake it's not like it's even so high. Sometimes it's just like 5 inches high. I'll do that kind of quantity for it, so I'll be wasting fondant. I will not tie fondant in cellophane and be keeping, at the end of the day everything is just even buttercream and everything. So I know when I see comments like that, I really feel you people's pain, because I went through that pain myself and I had to learn by myself on myself. I had to learn the hard way, so I just want to make things easy for you guys. So stick to this channel and stick to this video, watch to the end. You're going to learn a lot. And before we go down, please, like I said, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. You don't want me to blow past that face before you subscribe. Before we go into today's video, I really want to just ask a quick question. What do you guys think about restaurant reviews and food vlogging and everything? Because I really eat a lot, like at the shop, like I eat, and I've been getting a lot of comments and why don't you do a little of food vlogging, why don't you do restaurant review and everything. In my last video though, I did a little food vlog, but it wasn't something so serious, and little restaurant review, but I didn't really go too in depth. I just so just a vlog and everything. So what do you guys think about it? Do you want to see me doing food vlogging? I'll still be doing my baking videos, so fear not. Me and you, we are together on these baking videos, you get, I'll still be doing my baking videos, but will you once in a while want to see me vlog about food, do restaurant review? Do you want me to increase my upload date, because I upload just once a week? Do you want me to increase my upload date? Do you want me to upload twice in a week and everything? Comment. I feel like 3K subscribers, girl, we should make this channel much more gang and everything. So shout out to all of you, all my 3K subscribers. I'm so happy for this. I'm grateful. God will bless you. You guys are amazing and you guys are awesome, and I don't take this love for granted. Like, I see some of the comments and I'm like, oh my god, gee, oh my god. Like, sometimes some comments won't get me all teary, like, I love you so much, I want to connect with you, I want to be your friend and everything. I'm like, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for that. So you guys should please help me with this channel. Like, what do you guys want to see on this channel? How do you want the uploads to be? What do you think I should work on? What do you think I should improve on? Everything. So I'm going to start with 6 inches cake. That's like the smallest cake we bake here in Nigeria as regards a normal cake, a round cake. We do 6 inches cake, we have 7 inches cake, and we have 8 inches cake, and then we have 10 inches cake, and then we have 12 inches cake. Okay, but I'll start with 6 inches cake. So for 6 inches cake fondant, simple fondant recipe, you are covering a 6 inches cake. A 600-gram icing sugar is okay, or a 500-gram icing sugar is okay, depending on the kind of design you are putting up on this thing. But to cover a cake, a normal 6 inches cake with fondant, 500-gram icing sugar is just okay. 5 inches high, 6 inches cake. When I mean 6 inches cake, I'm talking about the base of the cake. 6 inches is the base. Do you understand? There is a normal measurement. The normal add 6 inches base. Then for 7 inches cake too. For 7 inches cake, you can also work with 500 grams of icing sugar, but depending on, like I said, depending on your design. So I would rather you go with just do 1 kg. For 7 inches cake, do 1 kg. For 8 inches cake, also do 1 kg. So like I said again, let me just recap again. For 6 inches cake, 500 grams is okay. If you want plenty design, you can do more. Then, but for just to cover the cake, 500 grams is perfect. The cake and the board, 500 grams is perfect. Then for 7 inches cake, 1 kg is okay. Then for 8 inches cake, 1 kg is also okay. Then for 10 inches cake, 1.5 is okay. For 13, 12 and the rest, 1.5 is also okay to cover them. Yeah. Then for buttercream, should go to buttercream for square shaped cakes and round cakes. Square shaped cakes take more fondant than round shaped cake, because when you're covering square shaped cake, you have to focus on the edges and everything, the four corner edges. So you have to, so it takes more. Even in terms of batter self, it also takes much more. Okay, now if you are baking a cake, a 6 inches cake, if you are baking a 6 inches cake, you are baking the cake, your butter actually determines the size of the cake. When you are baking, your butter determines the size of the cake, not your egg. Is when you know this butter you are using, you will not tell you, okay, the number of eggs to use and the amount of flour to use and everything. Okay, so for a 6 inches cake, 500 grams of butter is okay for that cake, and it will still be high and everything. So for a 6 inches cake, 500 grams of butter is okay. Then now your butter will not determine the the egg, the sugar, the quantity of sugar. Your sugar is always half of your butter. So if you are using 500 grams of butter for a vanilla cake, for instance, your sugar should be 250 grams of sugar. It is only some recipes that the sugar is usually more than half of the butter size. Maybe some recipes like red velvet cake or chocolate cake and the rest. But for all these vanilla cake, all those other normal cakes out there, coconut cake and the rest, most times your sugar is just half of the butter. Okay, so that's it for baking. And okay, I'm not done with baking because I didn't go to 7 inches cake. For 7 inches cake, you can use 700 grams of butter for 7 inches cake. For 8 inches cake, use 1 kg butter for 8 inches cake. For I'm talking for my head, like there's no book here, nothing. So that's why I'm doing a lot of and the rest. Okay, so next one is 10 inches cake. For 10 inches cake, 1.2 butter is okay. For 12 inches cake and above, 12, 13 and the rest, 1.5 is okay. 1.5 grams of butter is okay for those cake, to bake those cake. Okay, so that's for normal vanilla cake and rest. So now let's go to our buttercream. Buttercream, that's butter icing. Butter icing is the one used to cover cake. I also got a question in one of my video, how to make butter icing and how to apply it on the cake. This is not a practical class. This is just a me and you conversing class, having a conversation. This is a conversation. Yes, it's a conversation, because you are going to comment below, then I will also reply you either through a video or through reply your comments. Yeah. So for buttercream buttercream for a 6 inches cake, you need 500 grams of icing sugar. 500 grams of icing sugar is just so, it's going to do the job. And the icing sugar now is okay. The butter is half of the icing sugar. So if you are using if you want your buttercream to be very stiff, when I mean stiff, like you want it firm, you can use 200 grams butter to 500 grams icing sugar. If you don't want it so stiff, you can use 250 grams butter to 500 grams icing sugar. Okay, that's it for butter. For buttercream, that's the normal recipe for all buttercream. Then you can now decide to add vanilla and all those things to eat, vanilla flavor and all of those things to eat. So but basically the icing sugar for buttercream, the icing sugar determines the quantity of the buttercream. I hope I'm not confusing you people. Like, hope I am relating this thing very well to you people. I feel like I'm confusing you guys. Okay, should I recap, or do you hope you're understanding? If you don't understand, just comment, I will explain. Butter, for buttercream, hmm, for buttercream, what determines the quantity is the icing sugar. Buttercream, like I said, is the one they use to cover cake. Like when you finish baking cake now, you used to cover the cake. That's buttercream. It's the icing sugar that determines it. Then when you are baking a cake, a vanilla cake for instance, what determines the quantity is the butter. Do you understand? The butter determines the quantity when you are baking a cake, a vanilla cake. But when you are doing a buttercream, what determines the quantity is the icing sugar. Now the icing sugar you are using, the butter you will now use for that icing sugar is half of that. The butter is usually half of the icing sugar. Okay. Okay, so the fondant, like I said, fondant, I've already given a rundown. I feel like the fondant was very easy, and if you don't know how to make fondant, I did a video. Like, my videos are very basic and very easy to understand videos, so I did a video on how to make fondant, and the recipe is there also, so just check out my videos for that also. Where did I stop for buttercream? Okay, for buttercream, like I said, for 6 inches cake, 500 gram of icing sugar is okay. 500 gram of icing sugar to 200 gram butter or 250 gram butter, depending on how you want the stiffness to be. That's okay. Then for 7 inches cake, 7 inches cake. Funny enough, I use the same 500 gram icing sugar also. I use 500 gram icing sugar, and depending on your design, on all of these things, your design matter, because if you do a lot of design on your cake, my cakes are usually I don't like plenty design on my cake. I feel like once the design don't do too much, the cake will not be ugly. You understand? So I just make my design simple and fine and classy. Okay, so that's how I bake my cake: simple, fine, classy. I don't pack plenty design. Not like I don't design my cakes. I do design my cakes, but I don't pack design inside the cake. So that's it. So for 7 inches cake, you could also use 500 gram of icing sugar to get 7 inches cake. But when you start going to 8 inches cake, you will need 1 kg. Yeah, you need 1 kg for icing sugar for an 8 inches cake. And also for a 10 inches cake, you will also be needing one kg of icing sugar for a 10 inches cake. Yeah, if the design is serious design, you will need 1.2 kg of icing sugar for a 10 inches cake. Then for I stopped at 10. Okay, for let's go for 12. You also need 1.2. Then above 12 is the next one, that's 15. You need like 1.5 icing sugar for it also. Okay, so that's it. And the normal standard height for cakes, a normal cake, the height is usually 5 inches high. Don't know if this is doing. Okay, this is like the normal standard height for cake. Yeah, this is the normal standard height. So when you now say a cake that is above 5 inches, and let's say 10 inches high like this, and those ones are not that kind of high cake. These ones I'm giving you, these things, this quantity I'm giving you now will not work for those ones. You understand? Those high cake that you see them will be high like this. This quantity that I'm giving you now will not work for those ones. The normal standard height for cake is usually 5 inches high, something like this. Yeah, that's normal standard height for cake. So this quantity and everything I just give to you will work for the normal standard height of cake. But if you want to go for all those high cakes or very small cake in here, that's when you will not have, either it's going to be too small or you're going to have. Then as regards size of board to use for your cake board, that's where you put your cake on top before you design. That's a board, cake board. As regards the size of board to use for your cake, it depends on the design you want to put around the cake. That's the bottom. Are you going to use or do all those bottom, what do they call it, safe, I've forgotten. But it depends on the design you want on the cake. Okay, but for a normal buttercream cake, if you are doing a 6 inches cake, your cake board should be 8 inches, so it should just be like 2 inches more than the size of your cake. So if probably, like I said, if you are doing a 6 inches cake, you'd use 8 inches board. Okay, if you are doing like a 7 inches cake, you use 10 inches board. If you are using like a 8 inches cake, you also use around 10 inches board, or or 11 or 12, thereabout. So give it, it should be, your board should be bigger than your cake itself. Your cake and your board should not be the same. You cannot be doing an 8 inches cake and you're using an 8 inches board. No, there should be space in your board. There should be space for the cake and here. Even if you're not doing any design, that's just the basic for cake. There should always be space. You can't do an 8 inches cake and be using an 8 inches board. You understand? There should be space, whether you are doing design or not design. There should always be space in your board. Then when you're not doing design, you want to do serious design. Maybe you're doing fondant, and in the fondant now, maybe you are doing a traditional cake or something. And just in case, I did a video on how to make um beads and all of those things, traditional beads, and beads, cola nut, and the rest. You can also check out that video also. So it just in case you are doing a traditional cake and you want to put those decor on the around the cake, you cannot use a big board. But for the basic design, normal everything, the one I said, like what I said, two 2 inches more than whatever it is you are working with. At least 2 inches can be more. But you don't want to have a 6 inches cake, baking a 6 inches cake, and then you are using a 14 inches board, and there's no design around it. You understand? So it's just going to be silly, kind of like, what the heck, what's kind of thing. So that's just it. So it should just be at least 2 inches more. Your board should be 2 inches more than your cake. Okay, so this is it for